Laker fam? Welcome to Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han. Now we've got an awesome show for you guys today because we are going to be answering all of your questions regarding the playoffs. Now, Laker fam, the Lakers are going to be facing the Portland Trail Blazers. They're going to be taking on Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum. It's going to be quite the matchup, and I know you guys have a lot of questions now that we officially know who got that 8th spot. So I thought, let's just do a mailbag Q&A. So I asked you guys to send me in some questions via my Instagram and my Twitter. So real quick, if you are not yet following me on my social media handles, definitely make sure you go ahead and do so. You guys sent me in such awesome questions. So let's just get right into them. See what you guys want to know about this Blazers versus Lakers first round playoff matchup. Starting with the first question here we have from Mr. Goody Two Shoes. How many games will the Lakers Blazers last? I think the Lakers will be able to get it done in 5 games. It's definitely going to be much more of a challenge them playing the Blazers than it would have been if they were playing the Memphis Grizzlies, which is why I kind of didn't want them to play Portland, but it's definitely going to be exciting. It's going to be challenging, but I think ultimately the Lakers will be able to pull away in 5 games. Now, during the regular season, the Lakers actually did have the advantage there. They went 2-1 against the Blazers. So think, like I said, 5 games, they'll be able to get the job done. But it's definitely going to be a little bit more challenging had they played the Memphis Grizzlies. But I still think they'll be able to get it done in 5 games. But I'm curious, how many games do you think this series is going to last? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Now, moving on to the next question we have from Ryan M. Spencer 1. What are a couple of areas that the Lakers need to fix before their matchup with Portland on Tuesday? Personally, everything. The Lakers honestly have struggled since being in the bubble. They've not played their best basketball, that's for sure. So mainly I think if you're looking at the 2 biggest areas, for me personally, we got to work on our shooting. You know, the Lakers had the 4th worst shooting percentage in the NBA bubble. They're the worst 3-point shooting team, so we've got to be able to be better than that, especially if we're going to play the Portland Trail Blazers. We know they are a lights out shooting team, so we've got to get our offense in order. We've got to start off with these strong starts, play with more energy on both ends. Then another important thing is we've got to defend without fouling. Obviously, Portland's a good free throw shooting team. We do not want to put guys like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum on the line because that's just giving them extra points. But overall, everything. The Lakers just really have to lock down, buckle down, and play like the team that they were playing before the lockout started, and then I think we'll be fine. Steven Crocio wants to know, what do you think the Lakers' training plan is? Well, obviously now that they know that they're going to be playing the Portland Trail Blazers, good thing that that play-in game actually didn't last 2 games, that tournament that they had to play against Memphis, and they were able to beat them in the first game. So it gives the Lakers actually some time to really study the Blazers, study the team, and obviously LeBron James and a lot of the other players have said, it makes it much easier to get into playoff mode when you're able to kind of study the team. So I'm sure they're going to watch that play-in game, they're going to study Damian Lillard, they're going to study the whole team, and that's pretty much the main thing that you can do at this point. Alright, Laker fam, before I move on to some more of your questions, I want to let you in on an awesome deal that we are having right now with one of our sponsors, Fanatics. If you want to get some Lakers t-shirts, then you're in luck because we have deals going for 30% off. This is super exciting, especially now that the playoffs are starting. You guys, I'm going to be wearing all my Laker t-shirts. I'm going to be rocking that purple and gold everywhere I go. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself a Laker t-shirt, then all you have to do is go to chatsports.com/Lakers shirts. So easy. So again, all you have to do, guys, if you want some Lakers shirts for up to 30% off, just go to chatsports.com/Lakers shirts. Definitely make sure to take advantage of this awesome opportunity. But let's move on. Let's see what else you guys want to know about this matchup. So the next question we have here is from FireFang536. How do you think the Lakers are going to counter Lillard? So listen, it's going to be really hard to guard Damian Lillard. I don't even necessarily think it's possible. They're going to have KCP on there, and I think he's going to do his best. Maybe we'll have Caruso on there, although I don't think that's the best matchup just because Caruso is bigger for a guard. So this is obviously a situation where we really, really miss Avery Bradley because this would be a perfect matchup. He would be able to guard Lillard. It still definitely wouldn't be easy, but it would be a much better option for our Lakers team. So I think when you're looking at this, how do we stop the Blazers? I think Damian Lillard is pretty much unstoppable. I feel like we can all kind of agree on that. So I think the most important thing is to make sure that no one else on the team has a big night. Make sure guys like CJ McCollum, Nurkic, make sure those guys don't have big games, because in that playoff tournament against the Memphis Grizzlies, we actually saw CJ McCollum, who actually has a fractured back, still get 29 points, and Nurkic got 22 points. So we've got to make sure that we can contain those two and then do our best to try to stop Damian Lillard in any way possible. Laker fan, before I move on to the next question, make sure that you are subscribed here on Lakers Report. So real quick, you're watching this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below if you have not yet done so. We've got some awesome videos coming for you guys. We're going to have all of the latest breaking news stories regarding the NBA bubble, our Los Angeles Lakers, keeping you up to date with everything that's going on in these playoffs. It's all so exciting, so definitely make sure that you are subscribed so that you do not miss a single second of it. But the next question we have here is from Caden G4. Dame points over or under 250 for this series? Good Lord. I mean, he better be under, because if he's having 250 for this series, I'm saying, I'm guessing they're going to go for 5 games. That means he's going to average 50 points per game, and that's not going to be very great for the Lakers. So it would definitely have to be under. We can look at these last 3 games for Damian Lillard. He had 154 points. So obviously, he's been on this scoring tear, but if I'm predicting, 5 games for this series, he better be under 250 points per game. But I'm curious, do you guys agree with me, or do you think he's going to go over? Do you guys think over or under 250 points for Damian Lillard in this first round matchup? Malcolm Young wants to know, how would the Blazers defend AD and LeBron during the 7-game series? All right, so he's saying it's going to 7. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, but still, in terms of when you're looking at the Blazers and how they're going to be able to guard AD and LeBron, obviously the Lakers were really able to kind of exploit the Blazers' interior defense this season when they played against them, because the Lakers are much bigger than them up front. And AD obviously played extremely well against the Blazers this season. He actually averaged 32 points against them. Now, that was without Nurkic. He was injured in the games that we did play against them this season. So still, I think AD is going to dominate. I think that's going to be one of their biggest challenges when they're studying our Lakers team and looking to what they have to do, because again, Portland is a little bit of a smaller team. They're more of that shooting team, which is something that the Lakers struggle with. So that's why this is going to be such an interesting matchup, because I think it's definitely going to be a challenge for them to guard Anthony Davis. And then, of course, LeBron James, who I just pretty much think LeBron James, especially in a playoff situation, he's unstoppable. He's unguardable. There's nothing you can really do against him. And then Kyle Kuzma actually notoriously played really well against the Blazers this season as well. So when you're looking at the Lakers, 3 main players there, they are all guys who played very well against the Blazers. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be a big challenge for the Blazers team. But obviously, our Lakers superstars are going to bring it. I have nothing but high expectations for them, and I'm actually kind of curious to see who's going to be leading the Lakers in scoring, because I think AD and LeBron both have an equal shot at that. So I'm curious, who do you guys think is going to be the Lakers' leading scorer in this first round? Do you think it's going to be Anthony Davis or LeBron James? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, next question we have here is from @MMMayo22. Is it time for AD to play at the level we've never seen? Kuz will be the X factor. So I've actually said all along that the Lakers are only going to go so far as Anthony Davis is going to take them, because, LeBron James, I know he's going to be amazing. LeBron James is the best player in the world. I'm expecting that from him. But Anthony Davis, I think, really is key. If we can see AD really step up and solidify himself as a bona fide superstar and play like the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year candidate that we all know he is, then I think the Lakers really have a chance to win the finals. But I think it's all really riding on Anthony Davis, just because I know LeBron James is going to do his thing. I'm not worried about that at all. And Anthony Davis in the bubble has struggled a little bit. He's been a little bit inconsistent. Again, though, he did deal with that kind of eye injury, so that maybe is a little bit of an effect. But when you look at the Lakers back this season, you look at the games where they were really dominant. They were dominant because Anthony Davis had a monster game. So it's definitely going to be important for him to step up and play the best basketball of his entire career. And then looking at Kyle Kuzma, Kuz has been the brightest spot for the Lakers, in my opinion, during the bubble. He's really finally looked like the guy that all of us Laker fans really wanted him to be, that third scoring option for us, kind of that third star on this team. So hopefully he'll be able to keep it up, because if the Lakers are having 3 guys really playing at the top of their game, it's going to be really hard for this Portland team to try to deal with. So hopefully Kuz can continue to be that third scoring option, that third star that he's been so far for us in the bubble. Then the Lakers, man, they got this series on lock. All right, and then finishing off, one more final question we have from @Darren2690. When Rondo comes back, do you think he will make a big impact? I'm hopeful that he will. Obviously, one of the Lakers' biggest struggles with, especially in the bubble, has been their offense. They haven't had that much of an offensive flow. I feel like the ball movement hasn't been that great. And obviously, having a point guard like Rajon Rondo would be extremely helpful. However, when I look to the Lakers this past season when Rondo was playing, he still didn't really play that well for us. We still kind of had those similar issues. However, playoff Rondo, I am very well aware, is a completely different type of Rondo, and obviously he looked like he was in incredible shape. And if the Lakers are in the position to win the championship and continue to go far into the playoffs, and I believe that Rajon Rondo will have a big impact with this team. He's not going to be ready for this first round against the Blazers, but if the Lakers make it out of the first round, which we are all expecting them to, then he will be hopefully ready for them in the second round, which I definitely think they are going to need him, because again, playmaking, especially coming off the bench, is something that has been a real big Achilles heel for the Lakers so far, especially in the bubble. So definitely think Rondo is going to have a big impact when he is able to return. But that is going to be it for today's mailbag Q&A, taking on everything you guys want to know about this Blazers versus Lakers first round playoff matchup. It's going to be an awesome matchup, super exciting. I know we all can't wait. It all starts this Tuesday night, August 18th, so definitely make sure that you are there watching. Definitely not going to want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you have not yet done so. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet done so as well. And also don't forget to go to chatsports.com/Lakers t-shirts if you want to get 30% off an awesome Lakers t-shirt. That's it for today, guys. Until next time, Laker Hand is out. Bye, guys.